If you're new here, welcome. I'm Tangi, the Feel Good Expert. You're about to watch a full lesson from my signature course, Think Like a Reader, where I teach human design enthusiasts how to think like a professional chart reader and apply human design with confidence. I created this curriculum after nearly a decade of reading charts and teaching students, specifically to address where people tend to get stuck when learning how to interpret this complex system. It was originally developed as a paid program, and I am now releasing it publicly, lesson by lesson, for free here on YouTube. If you are following along with the course, make sure you subscribe so you are notified as each weekly lesson drops. And now let's get into today's lesson. Welcome back. Today we were talking about the Manifestor aura in human design. The Manifestor aura is designed to act independently. The aura is selective and it will attract some and repel others depending on the energetic needs of the manifestor. Manifestors are quite magnetic, and their magnetism requires them to be intentional and selective with whom they share energy and information. This aura type is closed and repelling. Manifestors have an exceptional ability to bring into being or make manifest what they envision. Manifestor aura can't help but be noticed when they walk into a room. They attract a lot of attention. The way that you can tell it's a manifestor when you're looking at a body graph is that they will always have a defined throat. And that defined throat will always be connected to one of these three motors, but never the sacral. So it can be ego, solar plexus, or root center with a motor to throat connection via channel. But the sacral center will always be undefined for a manifestor. Manifestors thrive when they can initiate. Manifestors want nothing more than to get things started. So a manifestor needs to learn to avoid asking permission to act on their own impulses. Once an impulse comes in, a manifestor is 200% in. So acting like an announcer and giving the information necessary to those closest to you will keep you aligned with your signature theme of peace, which we'll talk more about. Manifestors need to learn those energy patterns, so that feeling of 200% initiation versus when they need to pull back and take a break or a rest, they'll go from 200% to 0 with that undefined sacral. Manifestors must learn how to honor their flow states and create clear energy boundaries, and they have to learn to embrace their originality. Some strengths that manifestors have are innovation. Manifestors disrupt systems that are no longer working. They naturally feel into what needs a fresh start or a revamp. Manifestors receive impulses that have the potential to create leading edge solutions. Manifestors are unnatural at wiping the slate clean to create space for new. Manifestors are also quite independent. They can get things done without interacting with or waiting for others. You're able to enter intense flow states without the influence of external stimuli, and manifestors are not afraid to take their own independent action. Manifestor aura is very impactful. They have a natural ability for making the first move. Their alignment with themselves or with their own aura or with their strategy of informing effortlessly impacts and empowers others. They can generally magnetize the people, places, and resources that they need in order to create that impact. And they do attract a lot of attention everywhere they go. And I say that because of the defined motor to throat. Things that manifestors need to be aware of that might take them away from their strategy is people pleasing. So filtering themselves in order to steer clear of conflict, ignoring impulses to be more accommodating of others, trying to avoid friction or confrontation by delaying their own need for a change in relationship, career, or physical location. Manifestors also have a fear of being a little too different, so they'll change who they are in order to fit in. They'll make themselves smaller in order to avoid causing a stir or creating controversy. Manifestors may also start to accept the status quo, even though they see more innovative ways of being. Lastly, manifestors sometimes can get into a negativity bias by comparing themselves to others and placing more value on others' endeavors than their own. They may start to feel like nothing is working out for them, or they may begin hyper-focusing on the ways they perceive others to be holding them back. What a manifestor expresses with that defined motor to throat connection is what gets created into their reality. So being able to inform with objectively and without judgment is super, super helpful for a manifestor.
Quick note before we continue, if you are watching this and realizing you want to go deeper or move faster, this entire course is already available inside my Chart Readers Hub, along with live calls, past masterclass replays, and an active reader community. You'll find the link in the description below.
The way that a manifestor manages their energy is through that strategy of informing, which is different than the other 4 types. The informing strategy is because a manifestor aura impacts and initiates others. And many people fear change and will attempt to stop or control a manifestor. The best protection mechanism for a manifestor type is to learn to employ their strategy of informing, so making objective statements. Providing objective information without asking permission allows others to opt in or opt out of that initiation without trying to stop or control the manifestor. So the aura is closed and repelling because that is a protection mechanism, allowing a manifestor to get things started, to move without being inhibited. And the way that you communicate this initiation or this impulse to others is by using that strategy of informing. The ways that you can inform or how to inform is to just say it anyway. A lot of times manifestors are conditioned to hold back to avoid being controlled, but informing helps you discern who is correct for you or not as a manifestor. The other thing you can practice is acting like an announcer, so learning to consistently inform even on seemingly insignificant details and mundane tasks. Be willing to be first. Get used to making the first move and doing what's never been done before. And peace. You're not looking to be like a Zen Buddha master. You're looking to keep peace within yourself. So to be able to move forward peacefully rather than trying to keep the peace in relationships. That turns into a people-pleasing dynamic. And so being at peace means you are left alone. You're able to move forward and initiate without being limited, inhibited, controlled, or held back. So get curious before informing. Ask yourself the question, am I providing information? Am I providing objective information, or am I asking for permission? Am I verbally expressing what I desire to manifest? So being very clear and knowledgeable of what you are saying, what you're manifesting with your words. And will this person that I'm informing be directly impacted by what I desire to initiate or by what this impulse is for me? A few power statements for manifestors. I manifest with ease. I am a trailblazer. I have a talent for thinking outside the box. I am deliberate and intentional with my energy. My energy forges brand new paths for myself and others, and my words are impactful. So the alignment themes for a manifestor, the way that they know whether they're living according to this strategy of informing, is peace versus anger. This is the compass for a manifestor. So a manifestor is going to feel anger, which is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility when they are provoked, held back, limited, inhibited, controlled. They feel insult, injury, or injustice. They feel aggressive or tense, or they're feeling volatile. That means your body is wanting to create an impulse, but you're feeling for some reason that you cannot. It means that you're wanting to initiate and you have 200% energy to do it, but something is standing in your way. The signature theme for a manifestor is peace, which means free from disturbance, tranquil. You'll know you're peaceful when you have a state of tranquility or quiet, calm or serene, freedom from disquieting or oppressive thoughts or emotions, harmony and ease, safe and relaxed. So again, the compass for a manifestor is that they want to get something started. They want to do something that's never been done before, and they want to be left at peace so they can do it because they can't not do it. So that strategy of informing creates the space so that they can move forward without being held back, limited, inhibited, or controlled. When they do feel like they're being controlled by people, environments, that's when you get that not self theme of anger for manifestors. So that is the manifestor type. The next and last type that we'll talk about, which is the least common type in human design, is the reflector type. So check that out in the next lesson. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon.
On the screen, you'll see the lessons I recommend watching next based on your learning path. If something in this lesson shifted the way you're thinking, I'd love to hear what stood out to you most. You can share that in the comments. Liking the video and subscribing helps this course continue reaching the people it's meant for, and the questions subscribers ask here often shape what I teach next. Lastly, if you want to study this work inside a live reader community, you'll find Chart Readers Hub is linked in the description.